Hello everyone and welcome to this course of engineering mechanics. Today we will go for next chapter where we'll first study theory part of equilibrium and then we will proceed for problems. So first is, what is equilibrium? So an object is said to be in equilibrium if the resultant force and the resultant couple acting on that object is zero. So when total force and total couple acting on the object is zero, we can say that there is no unbalanced force or unbalanced moment or couple in the body. Then to that particular body we can say that what it is in equilibrium. As example, let us take this scenario here. One person weight 500 Newton is sitting at the one end of the plank and another person is sitting at another end, and exactly at the center a support is provided. Now here this 500 Newton of weight will be acting in downward direction, and here again this 500 Newton of weight will be acting in downward direction. Now for this action, definitely at the support some reaction will be available, and that reaction will be how much? That will be equal to 1000 Newton. Now for this, let us apply formula for resultant. Since this forms a parallel force system, can I say resultant is equal to summation of force. While calculating force, I'll take downward force as negative, so I'll say first is minus 500, that's first force. Next is again minus 500, that is second force. I'm done with this first force, I'm done with this second force, weight of the two people. And last is this 1000 Newton which is acting upward, so I'll take this as plus 1000 Newton. Here you can see this 500 and this 1000 will get cancelled out, and at what resultant force I am getting is 0 Newton. So here you can see that resultant force acting on the object must be 0. So my first condition is satisfied. Now next is given that resultant couple, that is what? Moment. Even moment must be 0. Moment about any point. So let us say I am taking moment about this center point. So now I'll say summation of moment about point O is equal to, and then I will call this point as point O. So let us start with first force, that is this 500 Newton. So what is moment? We know moment is force into perpendicular distance. So what is distance? Distance is given from here to the support. Distance is given to me as what? 2 meters. So 500 into 2, that will give first moment. Now let us check about its direction. Then when I'll provide this 500 Newton of force, it will try to rotate this body in anti-clockwise direction. So for anti-clockwise I have put plus sign over here. Next is, you can see this 1000 Newton. Now we know that any force that passes through the point about which I am taking moment, then that force will give me 0 moment because its distance is 0. So in short, 1000 into 0 will give me 0 moment. And last I'll go for this 500 Newton. So one more 500 Newton of force. So I'll write first force 500 Newton multiply by. Now this, what is the distance between this vertical force and a support? So as you can see, this is again 2 meter. So I'll say 500 into 2. But this time this force is producing moment in clockwise direction. For that clockwise direction, I have put minus sign over here. You can see this plus 500 into 2 and minus 500 into 2 will get cancelled out, and in total it will give me 0 Newton meter of moment. So here again moment produced by this force system is what? 0 Newton meter. Hence resultant couple is also 0. So such type of force system where a resultant force is 0 and a resultant moment or couple is 0 is called as equilibrium. So let us understand it in detail, that when I can say that a particular body is in equilibrium. So for that I have to define condition of equilibriums. So first condition is algebraic sum of all the forces along x-axis must be 0. So all the forces that are acting along x direction or along x-axis must give their algebraic sum as 0. That's first thing. Definitely for this, right hand side force will be positive and left hand side forces will be negative. Next condition is algebraic sum of all the forces along y-axis must be 0. So same way, summation of force in y direction is equal to 0. While doing this, forces that are acting upward will be considered as positive and the downward forces are considered as negative. So this way I can say that there must be 0 resultant force, because when summation of fx is 0 and summation of fy is 0, resultant force will be 0. And third thing is algebraic sum of all the moment along any point within the body must be 0. So summation of ma is equal to 0. While calculating this moment, I'll consider anti-clockwise as positive and clockwise as negative. So with this sign convention, we have to find the algebraic sum of forces acting along x, forces acting along y, and the total summation of all the moment. And if we are getting answer as 0, then we can say that particular body is in equilibrium. Remember, for any body to be in equilibrium, all these criteria must satisfy. Then only I can say that it is in equilibrium. So once we have understood equilibrium, we will go for types of support. So first let us understand theory part of support. So what is support? When I am restricting motion of any body in a particular direction, then I can say that in that particular direction I have provided support. मैं रिपीट करता हूँ, किसी भी एक डायरेक्शन में जब मैं मोशन को रेस्ट्रिक्ट करता हूँ, दैट मीन्स दैट मैंने वो डायरेक्शन में सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड किया है. Okay, and there are many types of supports. Let us start with first is a fixed support. Okay, now before starting with support, let us first understand how many motions can be performed within a 2D plane. So your screen is a 2D plane, and along that screen what all motions I can perform. So first I can move along positive and negative x-axis. Second, I can move along positive and negative y-axis, and last is I can rotate within the screen in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Now with this funda, let us understand that how we have drawn free body diagram from the given type of support. So first is a fixed support. What do you mean by fixed support? Any body that is fixed. So I'm not allowing that body to move any of the direction. This particular beam cannot move any of the direction. When I am restricted motion of the body in all the direction, then in all that direction reaction will appear. One more time, whenever I am restricting motion in a particular direction out of these three motion, which three motions are possible in 2D plane, I can say that in this particular direction support is provided. So here in fixed support I am restricting horizontal motion, so you can see that horizontal reaction is provided. I have restricted vertical motion, so you can see that vertical support is provided, and I have restricted moment, then you can see that here moment is provided. So whichever motion you restrict in that particular direction, here a reaction will appear. Now again, any body can perform three different motions in a 2D plane. So with this, let us start with the hinge support. So what is hinge support? In other words, I can say that it's a pin support. So in pin support, we know that a body can rotate about that pin. So here first, which motion is restricted? So any body that is pinned, that cannot have horizontal motion, so horizontal reaction is provided. That body cannot have vertical motion, so vertical reaction is provided, but it can perform rotary motion because it's a pin joint. Pin will allow that body to rotate about its own axis, to rotate about that pin, and hence you can see that this motion is not restricted, this motion is allowed. Since this motion is allowed, you will not find moment in the free body diagram of the hinge support. So that's how you have to remember. Again, let us go for third, that is a roller support. Now in roller support, it's very similar to hinge support, only the difference is that in a roller support, at the bottom surface a roller means wheels are provided. Okay, now here since I said it is very similar to hinge support, here we have allowed this body to rotate because it is like a hinge support. Moreover, wheels are provided. You can see here that at the bottom three wheels are provided. Okay, and because of these three wheels, this body can move towards left and right. Means even I haven't restricted this motion. So I haven't restricted this motion. So now what is left? Only one motion is restricted, that is a vertical motion, and hence you will find in a roller support only vertical motion is restricted and only vertical reaction is provided. So what we have studied till now, fixed support provides three reactions because it doesn't allow body to move in any of the direction. Hinge support allow body to rotate, so it will give only two reaction, horizontal and vertical, and a roller support allows body to move horizontally as well as to rotate, hence there will be only one reaction, that is vertical reaction. Next we go for next part, that is fourth reaction, fourth support, that is a cable support. Now remember that in cable support, reaction will be in the line of the cable and it will be directed towards the fixed point. So wherever that cable is attached to the fixed body, it will be directed in that particular direction, so it will be away from the body. So as you can see here, when cable is making angle theta, reaction is also making angle theta, or tension is also making angle theta, so it's parallel and it's directed away from the body. That's for the cable support. When a link is provided for the support, again similar thing, similar like a cable, only this time a force will appear. So when you have cable, tension will appear. When you have link or a short body, then force will appear. Remaining part is same, it's parallel to the link and it's directed away from the body. Next is a smooth surface support. You can see that this beam is supported by a smooth surface. So remember that for a surface support, reaction depends on the surface. Reaction is always perpendicular to the surface. When surface is horizontal, reaction will be vertical. So here you can see that reaction is provided in vertical direction. Remember here frictional resistance is not appearing because it is given as a smooth surface, whereas in seventh case a rough surface is given, and because of that rough surface along with the reaction which is perpendicular to the surface, one frictional resistance will also appear which will opposite to the direction of motion of the body. And last is a knife edge support. When a body is supported at a single point, then remember that it is called as a knife edge body, and its reaction will be perpendicular to the body. So here you can see that reaction is perpendicular to the body. So all these type of supports will be there in your problems. Total 8 types of supports are there. Now we will go for last part, that is a Lami's theorem. So let us understand what is Lami's theorem. If three forces acting at a point are in equilibrium, so let us say three forces are acting: force P, force Q and force R. Those forces are acting at a single point and it is in equilibrium. Then the ratio of any of the force to the sine of the angle between the remaining two forces is same. Then ratio of that force and sine of angle between opposite force is same. तो इसे कैसे याद रखना है? P, सपोज मैंने P को पहला फोर्स लिया तो P अपॉन P के अपोजिट कौन सा एंगल है? तो एंगल मेड बाय R एंड Q, दैट इज एंगल अल्फा. तो P अपॉन साइन अल्फा, ये पहला रेशियो हो गया. सेकेंड फोर्स इज Q. Now when force is Q, what is angle made by other two forces? That is angle made by P and R is beta. Then Q upon sine beta. And then last is R. So what is angle made by other two forces? That is P and Q, angle gamma. So R upon sine gamma. This ratio will be equal. Okay, this is very similar to the sine rule. What are the limitations of Lami's theorem? Then very first thing is it cannot be applied when more than three forces are acting at a point. It's clearly mentioned in the theorem, in the statement, that if three forces are acting, so it is applicable only when three forces are acting. You cannot use it for other like less than three or more than three forces. And second is it cannot be applied for non-concurrent force system, because it's given in the statement that if three forces are acting at a point, when all the forces are acting at a point, then that force system is called as a concurrent force system. So in short, Lami's theorem is applicable only when the given force system is a concurrent force system having three forces. Then only we can apply Lami's theorem, else we cannot apply Lami's theorem. I hope theory part of equilibrium is clear to you. In next video session, we will go for first problem of equilibrium. Thank you.